Welcome to the 156th episode of Monday Morning Coffee with Kyle and Ann. Can you believe it? I know. I was going through my computer yesterday. By the way, everybody, I'm Anne.Rossley. This way, Kyle Harvey. We sell real estate in downtown Chicago for Beard and Warner. And we come to you every week to talk about real estate in the downtown Chicago housing market. But I have to tell you, I was going through my computer because you know how you have to get rid of things and I don't delete as regularly as I should. And I got rid of the mid 2 years of our Mecca shows, but I kept the beginning ones because at some point we're going to go back and bring back those awful.
No.
Oh, come on.
We were alone, people. We were alone. Was it 6:30 that we did it?
Yes, everybody. We started at 6:30 because we knew nobody would watch us.
And we wanted nobody to watch us. We wanted to practice.
Exactly. And I think we still don't want everybody to see our horrible flaws, but I think we come up with some important things to talk about, today being one of them, right? So before we went on the air, we were talking a little bit about Oscars. We're not going to bore you with that conversation, but we are going to talk today about what's on our minds. I'm bringing you the early results from February, and then we're going to talk about the top 5 homes on the market. So that's our story. Anything else before we jump into stats, Kyle?
No, I'm ready.
Okay. So, there are still going to be some additions to the statistics because people will come in today and tomorrow and report sales. So this is the worst it's going to be. How's that? First, let's talk houses. 50 homes closed in February.
Single family homes in our market, in our lakefront neighborhoods.
Thank you for clarifying. Yeah, we do the lakefront neighborhoods, which is up to Edgewater and just west by a couple neighborhoods, including Logan Square, Westtown, Wicker Park.
Wow.
So 50, not the lowest. And again, it still could come up. So I really wanted this time to see the breakouts and where the business is. And you can see that the most homes was in the 1.4 to 2.3 band.
Yeah.
I suspect that's not because that's where the housing stock is. I think that's because there's just no inventory in the 800 to 1.4.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So, but it's nicely spread out, including luxury. Okay. Homes under contract coming up, 79. So whatever inventory there is, it's selling. And again, when you break it down by price point, you can see that the 2.3 million and above, 24.
That's really good. And look at how many are under 800,000. And to your point, because there aren't any.
Right. Homes for sale, 141. Wait, ignore the 242 up there. I failed to make that change. It's 141.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? There's nothing for sale. And again, by price point, we have more in the luxury, 67. Then the top left is 17. In some places, 800,000, like in Lincoln Park, that would be land value, not even.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 1.7 months, but look at it. In that band of the, what did I say? The 800 to 1.4, there's not even a half a month of inventory. It's 0.4 months of inventory. And even in luxury, where, look at this, when we were in COVID, there was a time when luxury had over 20 months worth of inventory. They're at a very healthy 5.1.
Yes.
Median sales price, 1.355. And again, I'm going to suggest, although I don't have pure facts, that this is because the higher stuff is selling, not because anything is losing value. Yeah. In fact, I think it's quite the opposite. Showings per listing, 3.9 per month. All right, let's look at attached. 614 closed in February. And when you break it down into bands again, the price points are different, obviously, because we're talking condominiums. I'm using 1.5 and up is the highest I think the one thing to take away from this slide is no matter what your price point, you still see the ups and downs of a typical cycle of real estate.
I also, let me ask you
Three, it's less.
Let me ask you this. So, the lowest two prices, I think those, 390, 400,000 and less, and 400,000 to 800,000, those bands are much more sensitive to the interest rates and affordability. That prices have risen so much, and interest rates are stubbornly where people don't want them to be. I'm not going to say high because, again, you and I have talked over and over again that this is actually normal.
Right.
But I think there's just much more sensitivity, and people are postponing purchases. Whereas in the higher end attached, people are more able to pay cash or are less sensitive to interest rates.
Yeah, I think you bring up a very good point. I wouldn't argue with it at all. And you're seeing that in those higher price points, business is up. In the lower price points, the number of sales is down. I think that's a great insight. Under contract, again, I keep forgetting to change the upper number. It's 954, folks.
That's a good number.
Yeah, it is. And under contract in February, properties under contract is going up. 2320. Oh gosh, darn it. All right. Would you start checking my slides? I need to hire
somebody. No, I'll start checking. But you so rarely miss anything that it's you.
Well, I was zooming through this yesterday. I was putting the slides together. 1627 is the true number because I changed these down here. I just forget to change the upper one. So 1627. Low. I mean, you can see we've never had a February for sale that low.
No, because usually this is ramping up. It's post Super Bowl, and people are getting ready.
Right. Crazy. Yeah. Okay. So attached for sale, 400 to 800, down 30% from the year before. And we thought last year was low. I mean, that's the funny thing. I should go back and look at looking at our past shows. I should go back and look at what we were saying about inventory. We were
weak.
Flat over last year.
About how low it was, and this is 30% lower than last year.
Yeah.
Good Lord, people.
And so for condos, 1.9 months of inventory. We haven't seen that.
And I've been experiencing this myself because I've got a couple of buyers, and especially they're at the lower end price range for condos, and we make an appointment and then it's gone. We make an appointment and it's gone. We make an appointment and it's gone. So it's really tricky.
Yeah, I was trying to get a buyer in this week to a new property on Sheridan Road, and he had an open house on Thursday between 4 and 6 p.m. to do all of his showings. He didn't even want to bother with the weekend open house. My client was traveling, couldn't get there. And, now our request for this Wednesday is denied because don't want to show it.
Done.
Yeah. Okay. So month supply, as one would expect, 1.5 million and above is 6.9 months, but again, not crazy. And in the lower ones, it's under 2 months worth of inventory. 450,000 is the median sales price. We keep going to all-time highs. All right. So here's our year to date, which is just January, February. We're up 9% versus last year and up 2%, yet we had the lowest inventory in history.
Yeah.
Detached, same thing. We were up 29% last year for the first 2 months, up 12% this year, first 2 months. Now, granted, 76 to 98 to 110, they aren't huge numbers, but still.
No,
riding high, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's an old slide. We're skipping over that. Mortgage rates as of last week, 6.76. Well, we're in the 6 3/4 range.
So I was listening to Marketplace this morning, on NPR's show, and they said we should expect to float in the high 6s and 7s for the foreseeable future.
The market is so hot. I just can't see the Fed reducing rates or the mortgage rates coming down anymore because everybody will go gangbusters. That differential between mortgage rates and that 4 or less that people have will diminish. And then so many people will be, yeah.
The administration is talking about going after the spread. That is what makes the rates so high right now. And it'll be interesting to see if the administration's able to do that.
Yeah. I just feel like if interest rates come down, well, maybe more inventory will make prices not go up so much. I don't know. I'm not an economist.
Chicago, Boston, and New York City had the highest price appreciation in December of last year. So those are the numbers that they're dealing with right now. And
yeah, this is a very, very crazy time.
Northeast and Midwest.
I think in many ways we are experiencing the fallout years later from all of that COVID pumping money into the system and everybody feeling, like I have money, it's 4% interest, I got to buy. And so, you know what I mean? Very similarly to when we had the 2008 economic crisis, we really saw the lowest prices in 2011, 2012, before we rebounded. You know what I'm saying? So
it takes a while for sellers to understand that it's not their property, it's the market. You know what I mean? That to accept what it takes to sell.
Very good point. All right. 2095,
I like this new slide for talking about rents. Good look.
$3.23 average price per square foot. And rents are coming down a little bit. And it could be because we're in February and I don't know. All right. So here are the counts by bedroom.
I'm going to tell you, I also have renters.
Yes.
Which I never do, people. I don't like them. But if they're cute, kind people, I help them. Those are flying. We make appointments, gone. Appointments, gone. They have 30 people who fill out applications. It's really tough.
We are in the height of the rental market right now because, everybody is like looking for their spring move. Crazy town. That's all I've got for stats. So it's a very busy, crazy market. If you want to make a move, you got to do it with an agent these days. Wouldn't you say that?
Oh my God. Yes. And even it's hard. It's just tough. It's tough.
Yeah. Let's talk about what's on our minds. What's on your mind today?
First of all, I'd like everyone to notice how pretty that slide is.
You are really getting to be a graphic design queen.
It's called Beautiful AI. And I just want it because usually it looks like a 4-year-old with crayons, people. So seriously. And even this isn't perfect, but because it's such a wide slide that I have to shrink it to make it better. You don't need to know about the sadness of me. Oops, go back. That's it. So we're getting mixed messages about the market. Price decreases. You've been seeing, so you just heard Anne and me talk about how Chicago has the most price appreciation. One of the top in the country. You've seen Anne's slides talking about the stats. You're about to see information at the end of this about how much over 10 years values and prices have improved across certain neighborhoods. And yet the message is this certain property is higher. So we're going to take a look at that. I mean, it makes me crazy. Or certain prices are dropping. Luxury selling below list purchase price is another sort of bad thing about the market. And yet there's all this price growth. And then I want to talk about exclusive listings. This Compass exclusive listings nonsense. Okay. So this is my listing. And it's on the cover of the print edition of Great Chicago Business this week. This is a beautiful condo at the Gold Coast Ambassador House. I mean, the view that's not the world's greatest picture of a view, but it's actually very light, bright, beautiful unit. And we dropped the price. And so Dennis Rodkin called me to talk about that. And I want your point of view, Anne. So there are two ways, people, and we've talked about this before. You can do a price drop. You can either advertise it as a price decrease by changing the price on the existing listing. You can also cancel the listing and relist the property as new. And I've done both. This time I decided to do a price decrease. What do you tell us, Anne, your thoughts on doing things this way?
Well, it's funny you bring that up. Judy Pilot in our office was talking with me this week about this very topic. And she did a huge price reduction on one of her listings. And we were discussing the fact that sometimes you don't want the perception that nobody wants your property. Buyers today have this fear of missing out and don't want to buy it unless everybody else wants it mentality, which is fueling Robert Revkin, which we'll talk about in a minute. But that's why the agents are taking them off and putting them on as new, even though there's a price reduction. I think you and I and Judy all agree that there's a time and a place to show a price reduction, to show sellers motivated, to really show what's going on. And it signals that this seller really wants to move the property. And
So for example, there were a number of people interested in this property. And you and I know, because when we represent buyers, that a lot of buyers say, I don't want to insult the seller by making a lowball offer, but the price is too high. So I'm going to sit and wait. Right. And I say, as I'm probably sure you say too, the insult is not making an offer. Make an offer. The seller's agent can absolutely handle the seller's feelings. So just make an offer, because the best, that's making an offer is a compliment. And so, but they won't. So what I was doing by showing a price reduction versus canceling and relisting was I was trying to capture those buyers and say, we've dropped the price.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, canceling and relisting at a lower price is like trying to hide the fact that, oops, I priced it wrong to start with, right? And it may not be that you priced it wrong. It may just be that the market has changed over the 4 weeks or whatever. But to your point, I see somebody reducing a price as they're motivated, they're ready to play, and the fact that they've been on the market 30, 45 days should not deter me from being interested in the property.
One of the things I talked with Dennis about when he called was, and not about this property, but a lot of properties, especially because, as you've shown, there is so little on the market, they want to test the price.
Right.
And I think that is doable in certain neighborhoods. We talked about that, that there are certain neighborhoods you absolutely can test the price. And then there are certain neighborhoods where you cannot. I would test prices in Lincoln Park.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely right.
I would test prices in
West Loop.
I would test it, certainly West Loop, Bridgeport.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Hot neighborhood. There are places where you can test prices, but when you have data, for example, in Lakeview or the Gold Coast or the Loop, where you really have to go off data in pricing. And so, but not every seller feels that way. They see the market at large. When people say, how's the market? I say there are lots of markets. And it's true. There are not only markets in each neighborhood, but there are markets in each property type and each level of price. And
Right.
so it's not like it's not one market. And sometimes people misunderstand that and think that the market at large reflects what's happening in Lincoln Park.
Well, and you bring up a really good point. That's why we do the stats the way we do them. That's why we come to you each week, because Chicago, it's not just community areas, it's micro neighborhoods, it's even blocks.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
a very interesting market in Chicago.
So and also what it showed, what he was talking about this article was that right now 3.7% of properties on the market in the MLS, our MLS, show price reductions. And usually, no, because remember, it's probably higher because of the other way of showing a price reduction, but just have the label price reduction on it. Usually that doesn't happen until July at the earliest, that you reach that number, that percentage of properties with price reduction, until much later in the year when properties are older. What he was saying, and which I think the data is showing, is that sellers and their agents are much more sensitive to aging properties, aging meaning time on market, and are jumping on it. They're like, I'll give you a chance, seller, at a certain price, but then we've got to go to the data-driven price.
Absolutely. And the last 2 listing appointments that I've gone on where I'm putting properties on, we've basically said, we're going to know the first weekend because of the pre-marketing we're doing, because of the market's speed. If we don't get the results we want in the first weekend, we've got to be ready to reduce the price by the 10-day or 2-week mark.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. So this is another thing. So you know what, Dennis, Rod, can please stop talking about another luxury condo.
Did you have that conversation with him when you were on the phone?
But another luxury condo sells for less than its purchase price, and they don't show any pictures of this. So this condo was owned by one of the owners of the Boca Group of restaurants. One of my favorite places. I love going to Boca, but I like to go into all the restaurants. And it was they bought it in 2017, so a strong market, and was a brand new building then.
Right.
For $4 million, I think $80,000. So they lost, when they sold it, they lost $277,500. So they sold it for 3.8, just a little over 3.8 million. We don't know what they did. We don't know. And this
building, and as you've said, with luxury properties, people are always making them very personalized, right?
Yes. So it may be perfect. It may be, but here are also some things. That corner of State and Elm is a heavily trafficked corner. It's noisy, it's, and it is, it's a great building. And there's so many great things about this building, but you will find that so it's a half floor. Each of these apartments is a half floor. The entire exterior wall is glass. And that is great if your idea of art is the exterior. There's almost no place to hang any art. And also on the south side of the building, which is the larger and more valuable side, it's managing the sun.
Right.
I mean,
absolutely.
No air conditioning you can keep up with all that sunshine. So, and buildings, often the first sale is always less than the purchase price for a new building. It just always is. Right. But so I'm just a little tired of this talking about how luxury is dead. Luxury is not dead.
It is not dead, right?
Yeah. So you texted me, this Compass exclusive listings. This is in
this was on Instagram.
Yeah. Talk about this, Anne.
So, this goes back to clear cooperation and what we were talking about before.
And we will continue.
The owner of Compass Real Estate has done this whole campaign of we have exclusive listings and we're going to share it only with buyers who come to Compass. So you want to come to Compass. Well, they're really trying to sell the sellers on why this is important to go through this and make it exclusive. And he's really just trying to do a monopoly. He is not doing the sellers and I say he, it's his campaign, but it's his agents who are implementing the strategy, trying to get sellers to feel like the best way to sell their home is to put it on the exclusive listing market for a while. And I wholeheartedly disagree that that is the right means for a seller to sell their home, number one. Number two, I think it is a company who is trying to grab market share, and they are they're just trying to pocket their own, put profit in their own pockets.
This is a shareholder-driven move, not a seller and buyer-driven move or a market.
Right. And the Justice Department and the NAR have been working really hard to make things transparent, to do things for the buyers and sellers so that, there aren't any.
Justice is trying to say, why should we have clear cooperation?
Well, Refkin's putting the bug in his ear. It's just baloneyville. Don't get me started. It makes me so mad.
Sellers and buyers. The more sellers, the more buyers you have looking at your property, meaning everyone on the MLS, means you will sell more likely for a higher price.
Yeah.
You will get more eyes, greater competition for your property.
And it gives you better data to understand where your pricing's at. I mean, how would you feel if you languished on the market for 2 months under this exclusive market thing, having no better indication of where your price is? You put it out there to the public, as I said earlier, you're going to know within 3 days.
Yes. The MLS also gives us stats on how many eyeballs are on things, and Zillow and Redfin doesn't give it to us, but
they used to. That's why you said that, because they used to. Yeah, Zillow does, Realtor.com does, and our own website will tell us, and of course our social media will tell us when we put a new listing. So,
but you don't get that when it's not on.
No.
So there are a lot of terrible reasons, and it perpetuates housing discrimination. It has the ability to do that. I know that's not the intention of sellers, but it perpetuates that, which is why there is clear cooperation. Anyway, and also, so the rule is for clear cooperation within 48 hours of marketing a property publicly, it's got to go on the MLS. Is it 48 hours? Yeah, I think it's 48 hours. Anyway, this is getting close. I mean, this is skirting it, just saying the market, we have a secret market, come see our secret market. But this is actually advertising the secret market. It is very close to violating clear cooperation. And I think Compass and Redfin are trying to get sued so that they can go after clear cooperation in court. Anyway, that's my guess.
I think that's right.
Okay, so you're gonna need to move our.
Whoops, there we go.
So Cranes has a lot of information today. So they took a look at price appreciation over the last 10 years. And so this is where single family home prices grew the most over that period. So for, some of these neighborhoods were somewhat depressed and are newer neighborhoods to gentrification. Kenwood being one, Logan Square doubled in 10 years. Lincoln Square scooted up. I was surprised that Edgewater did so well. Are you surprised by that?
No.
Tell me what.
No, because, and it's not just the homes of Lakewood Balmoral that are driving it. There's been some new construction, single family up there. And people, one of the new listings today, you're going to see if we have time, is the Edgewater Glen and some of those Magnolia Glen, those smaller pockets of older single family homes.
So we'll keep going because we want to get to her great properties. But anyway, so it's just a great example, but a lot of these are neighborhoods that are new or are growing. Okay. Then we have where condos grew. Interestingly, not Logan Square, another top one. What's the Lower West Side?
Lower West Side is weird, and I've been really studying this. It is actually it's just below Fulton Market. So it incorporates some of the West Loop, but then it also goes south of 290. It's a very odd area. So it also incorporates Tri-Taylor and the medical district of Rush.
Really cool. So anyway, that neighborhood's done well. And then the lower priced ones have really done well. Suburban, I thought we'd just do quickly suburban.
Good.
Glencoe, Glenview, and Golf. Hinsdale is back, people.
Right. And I think you're right. What you're seeing there is it had dipped down and now it's coming back. It had gotten overpriced.
Oakbrook has done so well considering that it's lost a number of headquarters. So take a look, people. And now we're going to go to Anne's thing.
Okay, let me pull it up. Okay, I'm going to run through this really quickly. There were like 20, 25 new homes in our market, and I decided to pick my top 5. This is Edgewater Glen, and you can see the homes are turn of the century. 650,000. It's a gut rehab.
But that's a great neighborhood, and it'll be beautiful when it's finished.
Exactly right. Now, this is Landmark Village. This is 2847 Wolcott, listed for $925, 3-bedroom, 3-bath. Been,
How old is that house?
Built in 1995. So they've renovated it, not the highest quality of materials.
But it's affordable.
But it's affordable. This is my personal favorite. Like if I were in the stage of my life where I was ready to buy a single family home, our colleague Susie Bramson used to live in one of these. This one's at 807 West Castlewood, built in 1990. It's the contemporary single family homes on that block. And you can see it overlooks the park. They were brilliant how they set the houses back. You have this big, beautiful open space, big kitchen.
Hasn't that sold already? That one on the market? I'm surprised it's not.
No, I'm shocked this hasn't sold. He just reduced the price. It's at 1.5 as of this weekend.
Excellent.
I love it. Okay. Oh, wait. Now I have to bring up my second group. There it is again. Okay. Wait. There we go. Okay. The next one. Okay. This is number 4, 2113 Shakespeare. What I loved about this is it blends contemporary with some beautiful woodwork.
Cool woodwork. New woodwork.
Yeah. Pretty kitchen.
Added woodwork. It looks great.
See how they do. Okay. See how they do that contemporary kitchen with the beautiful wood there in the eating area. Primary bedroom, lovely bath. Oh, there was a beautiful staircase that I didn't get in here.
Oops.
But see the staircase? It's just stunning. And then this is the way downstairs to the left, far left of the photo. It's just, such a pretty house. And that one is listed for 1.7. Okay. Oh, I didn't even tell you the address, did I? It's 2113 West Shakespeare.
You told us. Good.
Oh, I did. Okay. I'm trying so fast to get through this. Okay. 1833 West Evergreen. This is 3.9 million. Okay. But again, 3.9.
Wow.
Oh, that's from the Shakespeare. I'm all out of whack. Oh, no, it's not.
No, it's good. They both have great this.
They both have great No, that's the Shakespeare one. I've totally muddled it up. No, this is the great staircase of the Evergreen property. Look how dramatic and lovely this is. I mean, this was a total gut job. Are you getting a sense of what I like? I like the mixed materials. How about that for a sleek bathroom, huh?
Beautiful.
Lower level.
Beautiful. That looks like a really high ceiling too. It looks great.
Yeah. So that one's on a 30 by 150 lot. It's only been on the market for 4 days. and it's got 6,700 square feet.
My guess is we will be reporting that some or all of these are off the market.
Yeah, these are really great properties. So that's it. That's what I got.
Well, that was great. Thank you so much for sharing those.
Good stuff this week, and we'll have more good stuff next week. Thanks for watching, everybody. Kyle and Ann signing off.
Bye.
Bye.